After playing Dragon Dogma for over 100 hours, guys, I've been able to mess around with every single vocation. Today, we're going to be talking about what the best vocation is in the game, and I don't want to waste your guys' time, so I'm going to let you guys know what the best one is, but if you want to know where the other ones fare and why, make sure you stick to the rest of the video. So the number one vocation currently right now in the game before any patch or before any nerfs is the Mystic Spearhand. That is the best S tier vocation you could possibly get in the game due to the fact that it provides or it compensates two of the best things of the game, making the best melee character, right, of the fighter, and then making the best magic option, which is the sorcerer, combining those two and making one completely badass vocation, and that is the Mystic Spearhead. Now, I'm going to explain why it is later along in the video, but we're going to break down every single one of them and do it as quickly as we possibly can so you guys can get back to go ahead and compensate and play the game again. So we're going to be dividing this by S tier, A tier, B tier, and C tier. All right, so we're going to get started with the first ones, which is the C tier, the ones we really want to get off. And I believe these two vocations are going to get buffed. So do keep that in mind that these might be C tier now, but I'm expecting at least one of these to become an S or an A tier after patches and nerfs. So we're going to get started, of course, with the one that everybody kind of feels like should be more enjoyable, and that is the Thief. The Thief is a C tier vocation. Unfortunately, I was expecting a little bit more from this particular vocation. It's actually pretty OP, has some really good augments, has some really good skills, and really great mobility, really well to exploit weak points and single target damage. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with this is that the thing that it should be kind of hindsighting the most is because since you have to get so close to the enemy is the fact that it does very weak area damage. This is really, really bad because this is where he struggles on multiplying the damage he's able to have. In addition to that, he has no range. I would like to see a option here where we could have like a throwing knife or a throwing sword to use it very often. That would be really cool because it does lack range. And it does have really bad defense when it comes to this. So I put this in the C category. But in any of these guys, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. The next one we're going over, guys, is another one that I love. And I feel like it's amazing, but needs a buff, is the Trickster. Now, the Trickster, once again, amazing vocation, amazing ideas, amazing of the fact that you're able to, build bridges, you're able to cast out spells, you're able to throw some smoke, so really good. Very good when it comes to a supported spell, so if you want to, use this as someone that's going to be a supportive class, really good. Amazing crowd control, and really good scouting abilities. This is the one, if you want to find something in the game, this is the one you want to go with. Unfortunately, guys, the damage really, really low, and this is what I feel like is going to get buffed. The difficult gameplay is the fact that it requires a very deep understanding of the way the mechanics have. So it has a lot of large learning curve for the majority of people, and I don't think a lot of people are going to spend that much time learning the playstyle of this particular vocation due to the fact that it has a very weak survivability. And since the defense is very low, you're going to be dying a lot, so you're not going to want to, I feel like a lot of people are not going to be tapping into the full potential of this build. It's amazing, but you have to learn how to play with it, and I feel like that's the reason we're putting it here on the C tier. All right, so moving on to the B tier, and I wish I could probably put this on A, but unfortunately I can't. That is the Mage, guys. The Mage is not only amazing, and I recommend him being on any squad because he's able to heal, especially early game, but apart from the healing, he doesn't really have that much going for him. Apart from the healing, you could actually heal yourself with some potions. Later along, you get health from another character. So you kind of lose that connection you have with him. He's also able to, pretty much buff your weapons. But, as you progress throughout the game, you're able to do this by yourself. So it kind of takes away from that. And he also is able to, make you a little bit faster in the game. But I feel like the problem we have here is I think if they were to not make you vulnerable when you cast, I think the Mage would definitely skyrocket to A to S tier. But that vulnerability problem is a bit of a pain, and I've seen a lot of issues where people have been dying when they're casting because of the weak survivability he has. And it requires so much positioning that by the time you end up positioning, you'll have the Ogre kind of rush you and take you out. So I feel like the Mage is going to be within our B category here. Moving along, guys, for the B categories, we have the Archer. The problem I have with the Archer, I think he's amazing. The learning curve is the problem that I have with the Archer. I feel a lot of people are not going to play with the Archer and probably won't even understand the playstyle of the Archer. Even though he has amazing high damage output, guys, he does a ton of DPS. really fast and really mobile, and amazing for crowd control and movement around the map. But I feel like a lot of people don't play him due to the fact that the learning curve is pretty high for him. Due to the low survivability makes people not want to play the game, might not want to play the character of the vacation due to the fact of them catching death. But I feel like once you learn to play with him, strive, move along the map, and shoot arrows, it should be pretty good. So that is the biggest problem that I have with the Archer. Now, the other one that I have in the beak here, and you guys are going to be like, Laser, you crazy, my boy. No, guys, listen. The Fighter. The Fighter is going to be going on the B tier category. Now, really good defensive player, like one of the best for aggroing, amazing account control. The taunt mechanic by far is one of the best things the Fighter has going for him. But the problem I have, and I feel like he's going to get buffed, is the fact that he has very little damage output. And I kind of understand this because I know they made the Warrior Cast be the one that does a little bit more damage. But I feel like the Fighter here, he needs a little bit of a buff to get that damage a little bit further. Very slow moving. That's why I feel like the damage needs to go get increased. And very weak at, from a range, he's useless, right? So you want to make sure when you're using a Fighter, you're just going to be pretty slow. You're going to be pretty tanky. All right, now I'm moving on to our A category, guys. For our A category, we got his sibling, which is the Warrior. Amazing, guys. This is the damage outputter monster. He hits like a truck. Really good, guys. Amazing when it comes to crowd control. He just takes one full swing of his sword or wherever he's rocking, a hammer or whatever he has, and takes everybody out. Really good when it comes to that. And just the fact that you're able to like almost one-shot the majority of the people is just amazing. The only problem I have with him is the same problem I have with the Mage. With the casting time, he takes forever to wind up and swing, guys. It's like, come on now. If you're going to make me take that wind up, at least give me mobility. And that's the other problem I have with him is the mobility aspect, all right? He's super slow, bro. Come on. I know you got a bunch of heavy armor, but you got to move a little bit. You got to move a little bit. And the only thing I wish that they would have done with him is giving him something like maybe throw a rock or throw something at people. Because at range, it just becomes very problematic. You have to get really close. And, that windup becomes a problem. All right, now moving on to our A tier category, guys. For the A tier category, we got the one, the only, the one that's able to rain thunder, lightning, the Sorcerer, man. Unlimited damage potential with this one, guys. He is like hard hitting as you could be. Amazing. I love using the Sorcerer just because he does a ton of damage with all the stuff that he's able to do. Really good when it comes to range damage. So he's able to like be from like another hill and kind of kill people from there. And the great thing about him is the fact that he is by far my favorite character because he doesn't need people to help him heal. He doesn't need anyone to, kind of guide him or hold his hand. He's able to heal himself, which is awesome, right? The only thing I have, which is the problem I have with the Mage, but the reason I put this a little bit higher is because he's able to heal himself, number one, and number two, he's able to fight from range, but his survivability is like, when it comes to casting, it's a big of a drawback because it kind of slows the fluidity of the gameplay. So the casting time, I hope it gets reduced so it can be better. Now, the next thing, guys, when he's close in combat, that's where you're going to have a problem because people might be able to kill you there. And unfortunately, he doesn't have that many spells. He only has a certain amount of spells to use. All right, so moving on, the next one we're adding here, guys, is our Magic Archer. Definitely very underrated class. I don't see a lot of people playing with this one, but I feel like this one, you got to give it a try, man. Once you understand the playstyle, really good. Because this one is totally different from the Sorcerer. This one has a ton of spells. He has a ton of spells to use. Amazing at range. And once again, he's able to heal himself, which is awesome. The only problem is I wish he had the mobility that the Archer had because he doesn't have that. And I wish he had the single target damage because I feel like if you're going to be investing in this vocation and have all this variety when it comes to spells, you need a hard-hitting spell. And currently right now, it doesn't have that one at the current time. All right, so now for our S tier category, guys, and here we go. We have the Warfare. The Warfare, really good because it gives you a play style to play whatever you want to play as. If you want to have this weapon, you're able to use that weapon. If you want to use an axe, you're able to use an axe. You want to use a bow, you want to use a mace, a sword, whatever you want to use, you're able to use it. In addition to that, you're going to be able to customize your build to whatever unique playstyle that you want. Ton of flexibility when it comes to that. And out of all the classes, is the most versatile when it comes to anything in the game. that is why the reason I love him. Now, the problem I have with him that I feel like I don't think he's going to get buffed or nerfed. I think they're going to leave him the same. But his lower stats kind of, mess it up a little bit. And the freedom that they give you with being able to decide how you want to play also feels to be a con in my personal sense, because people that don't know how to, how to make a build are going to find it complexing, because you'll be like, how should I actually play this character? Because there's really no playing, right? There's no like, like set in stone, this is how you have to play it. So I think this has a little bit of learning curve of learning what playstyle you want to play in the game, and then adjusting to that and making your character pretty much be whatever you want to play. And last but not least, guys, we have the one, the only, the Mystic Spearhand, fellas. This guy far, guys, the best class out of all of them. Man, this is amazing. Mobility, like, you have mobility not only at close range, but at long range, man. The dash is amazing. The being able to jump on, dude, it's really good. Very versatile. Very versatile class. Super balanced when it comes to abilities. Not only is he able to dual damage, but he's able to prevent damage from being done to not only you, but your pawns with the bubble. And amazing when it comes to crowd control. Really, really awesome. Now, the problem that I have with him is that while he's really good at everything, he is not exceptional at one thing, right? So it's like he's good at everything, but not something I could be like, if I got to pick a class that's the highest hitting class, is the one I'm going with. He's very good at everything except being good at one single thing. That's the only problem, drawback that I have. But that is pretty much my best class, tier list that I have. If you guys agree, let me know in the comment section down below why. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section down below why you don't agree. I hope you guys are finding these videos helpful, informative. If you are, do me a huge favor, guys. Drop a comment, drop a like. But most importantly, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications,